Yourself. Try QuickBooks Self-Employed with a free 30-day trial. Learn more at qbselfemployed.com.
We've been hearing a lot about Uber lately, so we decided to get out there and talk to some actual Uber partners.
Is signing up to drive with Uber really hard?
It was simple and easy.
So if you have a phone, you can just sign up and earn money?
You just open the app whenever you feel like driving.
Sign up, drive, and you make some money.
Are the hours good?
I work less hours and I make more money.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great. What do you think I should do?
You need to sign up for Uber.
You can make serious life-changing money when you drive with Uber. Get started today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com.
Some people don't believe in mermaids. Hope that's not you, because they exist at Weeki Wachee Springs State Park off US 19 and State Road 50, just north of Spring Hill. Since 1947, the magic of the mermaids have been entertaining visitors at the 538-acre Springs Park. Come and watch in the 400-seat submerged theater, the Little Mermaid Show at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily. Weeki Wachee State Park offers mermaid shows, reptile shows, boat tours, and swimming in the pristine spring at Buccaneer Bay. Weeki Wachee State Park is a perfect backdrop for wedding receptions, birthday parties, picnics, meetings, retreats, family reunions, or just to relax on the white sandy beach. Step back in time when things were much simpler and enjoyable. Spend the day at an original theme park. Call 352-592-5656 or log on to wikiwachee.com for upcoming events, hours, and ticket pricing. Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, where mermaids do exist.
Go yard is a metaphor used in baseball, meaning to hit a home run. Life struggles can make you feel like you just struck out. It's times like these that we need a little batting practice to pick ourselves back up and get back in the game. Whether you are dealing with marital issues, drug addiction, rebellious teens, anxiety, depression, or just generally having a bad day, call Mama Mac. If life has you down 0-2, before you strike out, learn to go yard. Go yard with Mama Mac on this radio station, Thursdays, 6 o'clock.
Are you looking for some great restaurants? For some great wines? Where are the great chefs? Listen to Dine Out Radio, heard every Wednesday on the Tan Talk Radio Network. 12 to 1 p.m., we'll tell you where all the great events are. We'll have Food and Wine Magazine and Bon Appetit Magazine. We'll have their editors and writers on each month. And maybe we'll throw in a couple surprises. Check out the website, diningoutradio.com.
My bridges all...
Hi, it's Sawyer from the Dolphin Tale movies. Now is the perfect time to visit the world-famous Clearwater Marine Aquarium. Millions have seen us around the world, and now you can experience what we do in person. Come and reconnect with Winter and her fun-loving movie co-stars, Hope, Mavis, and yes, that crazy bird Rufus. Immerse yourself into the world of marine life rescue with the behind-the-scenes tour. Explore the film sets, and don't miss our free boating adventure. Save time in line when you buy tickets at seawinter.com. Kids only $16.95.
Hey listeners, tune in to Nostalgic Radio on Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I play some groovy 60s, 70s music and talk about far-out cars. I'll bring you up to speed on some bitchin' car shows, swap meets, and vintage racing. So join us Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Listen to my interviews with special car guys, celebrities, racers, builders, customizers, and collectors. We'll discuss cars, auctions, values, restoration, project cars, and parts. We'll have featured cars. We'll talk about test drives. We'll include topics on boats, planes, and vintage musical instruments. So tune in to Nostalgic Radio on Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome, business leaders. You're listening to the Focal Point Show on Tan Talk 1340. I am your host, Gil Pinney. I am your Focal Point business coach, and I want to thank you for listening. I really appreciate your input and all the time you spend listening and hopefully gathering information that we deliver. And over the next hour, we'll provide some unique and hopefully important information for you. This is a unique and one-of-a-kind radio program for Tampa Bay. It delivers business leaders a forum to share their successes and learn from one another's mistakes. One of the improvements we'll make this week is to start using the new thing. It's not very new, actually, but we'll start using Twitter. So if you have a question, you can relay it quickly on the Twitter feed. My Twitter handle is @PinneyG. That's PINNEYG. Or feel free to call in at 727-441-3000. Or use my email address, which is gilpinney@yahoo.com. That's GILPINNEY@yahoo.com. And that specific email is set up specifically for communicating with our radio listening audience. So if you would, please go to one of those venues, either call in to 727-441-3000, go to my website, gilpinney.com, or go to our email address, and that's gilpinney@yahoo.com. Or if you're on your phone, want to use your Twitter account, contact us at @PinneyG. All that business is taken care of now. You now know how to get in touch with us and ask your questions in any shape or fashion, because there's no poor question. We're here to help. We're here to provide information to you and hopefully find a good solution to whatever your business issue is. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Mine was great. I helped participate in the record-breaking crowd at Bright House Field. We got to watch the Clearwater Threshers defeat the Tampa Yankees, and that score was 3-0, if anyone cares. The post-game fireworks, though, were absolutely amazing. You sat there for 20 minutes, nonstop, multiple fireworks going off at a time. I tell you, it rivaled any fireworks display I've ever seen, from Disney to anywhere. So it was great. And if you have a chance, go to a Saturday night home game and see for yourself. I'd also like to send out a thank you to Lisa Colleen. She was in the show last week, and she gave us some vital information, and she gave us lots of enthusiasm and expertise regarding branding and marketing and the interrelationship between those two and the sales function. So if you missed her, you can give her contact at 727-776-2388, or go to her website, which is aimhighllc.com. That's AIMHILLC.com. Well, also part of our great 4th of July weekend, we had the women's soccer team just blow out Japan, which was really amazing and showed what great coaching can do and what great execution can do, because Carly Lloyd setting a hat trick in the first 16 minutes was absolutely astonishing. But the coaching job by the coach was, as I said, amazing. She put in a game plan to exploit the Japanese technical, their focus was on technical parts of the game, and she exploited those very quickly and early, and gave the old proverbial punch in the mouth right at the start of the game. And she had an excellent strategy, and the team was unbelievably good at executing her plan. So all the laudits go to the coach, Carly Lloyd, and the whole American women's soccer team. So with that, not to be too lengthy on sports, but we now have our Tampa Bay Rays. We're 1 week away from the All-Star game, and unfortunately, we no longer are in first place. We've dropped to third behind Baltimore and the Yankees, and we're now tied with Toronto. And Boston is not too far away, at 4 more games behind us in fourth place. The amazing thing to me, for as long as I don't remember there being no Rays, no Orioles, no Yankees, or no Red Sox on the starting lineup for the All-Star team that'll be held a week from tonight. So that's showing, I guess, a little bit about what the weakness of the division is.
Well, the Rays might have a chance. Archer might get the nod to start.
I thought they named those pitchers today.
I don't think they've named the starting pitchers yet. Have they?
I thought they did.
I thought it was tonight. Did they? Maybe they just did it. I'll find out. I'll find out right now.
But I think they did. I saw it. I don't remember the names of the guys that are pitching. Anyway, we'll get back to what we're here about and answer the question that I get frequently: why do I need a Focal Point business coach? Well, Focal Point, I've told you, is a franchise, and I enjoy this franchise extremely much. But your Focal Point coach, we all provide a money-back guarantee. You don't have to be concerned about your investment not yielding a great return, because it will. We're all trained and certified by the Brian Tracy renowned group of training and professionals. But the most important factor is during our training, they assess whether or not we're going to be an effective focal point coach by making sure that we match our corporate values. And the focal point corporate values are integrity, commitment to excellence. We must have a passionate commitment to serving others. We need to have a good balance in our life, meaning we should work hard and play hard. Have great spirit, meaning we need to be a little fun and adventurous in our lives. Have great leadership skills in both business and community, and enjoy the teamwork aspect of our lives. So if those match up with your personal or business core values, then that's why Focal Point is a great association that you would like to make. And just think back in your life. Remember hitting a home run. How about scoring a touchdown? Meeting that someone special. Getting your first recognition for an accomplishment in a business setting, or seeing your newborn child. These are all very special feelings and very strong memories. When you think of your business, though, what is your first thought? Is it about what's wrong and why is it so hard? That's where you need to contact your Focal Point business coach, because I can help you turn the feeling about your business into a positive feeling, so you feel as though you're building yourself and your family a memorable legacy. So with that, we'll move on to what today's program is going to be all about. Oh, we got pitching information here.
7 o'clock tonight, they announced the starting pitchers and the reserves.
Okay.
And I don't know anyone in the American League that deserves it more than Chris Archer.
Okay.
Maybe Chris Sale.
Okay. I saw something online earlier, so I was clearly in error.
You saw the starting lineup. The starting position players were announced, but the pitchers and the reserves are being announced in 2 hours.
Okay. Thank you very much there, Chris. Anyway, today's program is, again, just like baseball, which is a great lead into that. It's time to reassess based on the performance during the first half of the year. And for us, we're in the start of our second half. It's July 2nd. And with that, talking about July, we are now in the second half. We have to focus and look at what we did well in the first half and what we've got to do in the second half to assure our success. With that, we'll now go to break and enjoy a break, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Wanna put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin round to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. I burn like a wicked cat.
Tune in to the book club with John Austin.
Well, I actually taught public speaking, as you probably know, in college for 7-8 years.
You could ask the questions and answer them yourself. I could just sit here.
You ask terrific questions, you listen, and it's just a joy to work with you.
Well, I love
go on the road, you know?
Right, well, I'd be happy to. And
you may not be able to go on the road, but don't worry, we bring the book club to you every Tuesday at noon right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Health insurance is on everybody's mind right now. You either don't have it, or you have it and you think it's too expensive. And you probably feel like you don't have any options. We can help. We are the Health Markets Insurance Agency. We offer health insurance plans from major carriers nationwide and likely have a plan that can save you money. Whether you're self-employed, on a COBRA plan that's about to expire, or you simply don't have health insurance where you work and you need it, the Health Markets Insurance Agency can help you. Our agents will help you find coverage you can afford. Health Markets Insurance Agency is an authorized agency in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Plans may not be available in all states. 800-608-1830. 800-608-1830. 800-608-1830. 800-608-1830.
We have a special guest on the line, Pete Rose. Pete, how you doing, buddy?
Rick, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good to talk to you. You know, Bill called me and told me you were coming on. So excited. You got the new thing on TLC.
Pete hits and misses. Exciting. We're having a lot of fun and going there and just talking sports with you.
Fires, Rose swings. There it is! There it is! Get out! Get out! All right! Hit number 4192.
Rocket Sports here on the Tan Talk
Radio Network.
Join Rick Sassone in the Rocket Sports Show Fridays from noon to 2 p.m.
My name's Joni Siegel, and I'm the producer of the L. Ron Hubbard East Coast Golden Age Theater, WTAN Radio's presentation of Tales from the Golden Age, tales in every popular genre. Let us return you to a time when fiction was good, clean entertainment and the most fun a kid could have on a rainy afternoon, or the best thing an adult could enjoy after a long day at work.
East Coast Golden Age Theater, Monday evening at 6 on the Time Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Tim Del Toro.
And I'm Lou Angelwolf, and we are the Grease Gurus.
Our show is broadcast every Saturday morning live at WTAN Tan Talk Radio 1340.
That's 10 o'clock every Saturday morning for an automotive forum that is flavored with humor and insight.
We encourage you to call in and be part of the Grease Gurus show.
We'd love to have you, and we will certainly help you find your inner grease.
This show is sponsored by Tim's Performance Service Center in beautiful Tarpon Springs at 906 Verona Place, and you can reach us personally at 727-543-1601.
Aha.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back. You are part of the Focal Point with Gil radio show on Tan Talk 1340. Thank you for being part of my audience. I am Gil Pinney, your Focal Point business coach. We do this show to build our community's economic engines, which is small business. Please send your questions or comments to @PinneyG on Twitter or call in at 727-441-3000. We look forward to hearing from you. Prior to the break, we were talking about how baseball is now almost at its halftime, which is the All-Star break. And we all in business are either at the end of our year, if we ended at June 30th, or we're at the beginning of the second half of the year. So it's time to reassess where we are and how we're doing. And this topic is relevant for all businesses. So the franchise time we usually talk about will incorporate in the overall general discussion that we're going to have today. The first thing I have to tell you is this is not easy and it's a lot of work, but it is your job to make sure that your team is on course to finish the year exceeding the goals that you set in either December or early January. My vision for today is to provide you with the tools to reassess your business, your staff, and yourself regarding the next 6 months and what actions you need to take during the next 6 months. First thing, of course, you got to get your financial results from your CPA as quickly as possible, because those financial results will tell you one heck of a lot of information, of course, as regarding both your revenue and your profitability and your expenses. So you need to look at those. But the first step you need to do is review your overall business and on the revenue side. In that, we need to look at your marketing programs and the resultant lead generation. Do you have this information available? Do you know which marketing programs are most effective for your company? Or if you don't, how can you generate that information and how can you put it in place so that next quarter you know exactly what that information is? It is absolutely dead critical that you know which marketing programs are generating what leads for your business. And then in conjunction with that is your conversion rate from those leads into customers at the target level you set. If you're looking at trying to close 1 out of every 5 leads, yet you're not achieving that, is it because the quality of the lead is poor or because your closing skills are not where they need to be for your sales force? So the important thing about your conversion rate is, do you know why you're where you're at today? If you do know why, keep up the reason or keep up what you're doing and make sure that you continue doing it and continue to monitor it. If you don't know why, it's time to find out. You have to look again and meet with your sales staff to see what is effective and what's not effective, who's getting a higher closing rate, and have that individual work with the others to drive their closing rate up to meet your target of 1 out of 5 if that's your target. And if the quality of leads is poor, what do you have to do to go back to your marketing program to generate and improve the quality of those leads so that you can improve your closing rate? The other side on your revenue of your business, of course, is to look at the frequency of purchase by the customers that you already have in your business. And are you sure that your customers are always buying from you? Is it a non-routine buy when they buy from you? How and when is the timing of their purchases? If they purchase once a quarter, once a month, once a week, you need to get that information and develop that information and work it into your overall scheme. So if you know how frequently they buy, you can then go back and see how to either improve that or, as in the next step, look at their order size to see how you can increase the amount of product that they order from you, and then also work with your sales staff to see if you have additional products that may fill additional customer needs that the customer's not currently buying. And those are key things for the order size. Knowing what your customer wants, can you offer more of what they purchase and make it easier for them? So when you go through and look at all these 4 areas of your business, which are lead generation, conversion rate, frequency of purchase, and customer order size, you define your areas of opportunity to bring your business either back on target or make sure that you can exceed your targets by the end of the year. And if the worst case is you're going to have a better year than what you originally planned. The downside is to stay pat with what you're doing, because I've been in business for a long time. If you're on target right now and you're looking to be on target by the end of the year, if you could be higher, your sales force will kind of pull the throttle back a little bit. And so you don't want to have that happen. You want to look at your plans for next half and make sure that you're still stretching both your people and your company to make sure that you generate as much profit and revenue as you can. So step 1, you're looking at your financial and your overall business. The step 2 is to review your staff. And this is always a controversial topic. Why do you want to spend more time than one formal review a year? Well, because, owners, they always think that their staff instinctively knows how the owner feels about their performance. I mean, I walk by the guy every day. If I was angry with him, I'd slap him on the head, or I would talk to him every day or do something. But you know what? People don't know what you think. And many staff and many owners are surprised, positively or negative, or both, during their annual appraisal process. So to eliminate that, I need you to commit to your staff and take the time to set both goals and set a time to do quarterly reviews. And yes, I said quarterly reviews. Once every 3 months, review where they are on their goals, what direction they are heading, what direction the company is heading, and how they contribute to that overall performance. In setting those goals, you got to make sure they're SMART goals, and we'll refresh on that. That means the goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And they have to be specific enough for each member of the staff or each team in your staff. And you have to get agreement from those employees that they are both, that these goals are realistic for them and attainable for them. And then you put those goals onto a spreadsheet with your quarters across the top and goal results below that, and then the actual results below each goal. And if you would like a template of that, please send me an email and I will email it to you. I have that particular template readily available so that you can use that. It's a nice little template. You can customize it for your own usage. But again, my email address is gilpinney@yahoo.com. Send your information and I will be freely and happily to send you the copy of the quarterly review system. The other thing that is really important on the quarterly review for both you and your staff is to include at least one personal goal for each staff member that they would like to achieve over the next period, and that could be over the next year, next 3 months. But it can be an educational goal, a child-related goal, a community activity, or a health and fitness goal. If they want to lose 20 pounds. The goal is really it's important because it's important for that individual, but it's important for the company because what matters is the behavior that you're trying to establish to have your staff set and achieve goals for themselves and then conversely for your company. So you get extremely high ROI for taking the time to incorporate this and discuss it with the individual that you're giving a review to. This is such a critical point that you need to take as much time as you need in order to communicate effectively with each staff member the complete ideas that you have for them and what their performance level is. If you rush through this process, the message you send to that employee is you're doing this because it's a system and you're checking a box rather than expressing the desire that you truly want to work with them and make them better staff members and better employees and better people for the community. So you got to make sure you take enough time. The other part of the review is these are my always things. You always must let each staff member know how important they are, regardless of which position they fill in your organization. Everybody is there in order to drive to the overall company performance, and everybody's important. Otherwise, if you don't need them, you wouldn't hire them, and you wouldn't continue having them on the payroll. The next always is always be positive in the conversation. Instead of saying to an employee that's under goal on something you don't say, you failed to meet goal X. It's much better received and much better interpreted by the employee to say, you met or exceeded 2 of your goals, and this puts us in a great position to have a good year. Can you explain why there was a shortfall on goal X? You're basically saying the same thing as you did before because they did not meet goal X, but you framed it in such a way that the burden is now on them to explain the performance on goal X so that you get a good answer and you get buy-in to what's got to change either in the employee or in their process in order to make this better. This is a very golden opportunity for you to get both employee involvement and improve the overall operation of your company. The next always is always when shortfalls appear, you note them and ask how you can help. The final is set a time and date for your next quarterly review with each member of the staff so that they know this is not a one-off deal and that you want to make sure that this is part of your overall company. When we come back from break, we'll continue with this discussion and see you on the other side.
Lightning fans, there's no better time to reserve your 2015-16 season tickets than now. Season ticket members get the best seats, the best discounts, playoff priority, exclusive player access, and more. Reserve your 2015-16 season tickets by calling 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Be the Thunder.
The City of Dunedin introduces baseball done our way. Start with a morning on our pristine beaches. Next, off to downtown for some unique shopping. Then a bit of lunch at one of our many award-winning restaurants. And now time for an afternoon game at Florida Auto Exchange Stadium. Finish the day off with a sunset cruise on the Gulf. A day in Dunedin. A day done our way. For more information, go to DunedinGov.com.
Imus in the morning.
Please welcome now to the program the sportscaster Mike Breen. Good morning, Mr. Breen.
Good morning, I-Man. So good to be on your popular morning show once again. How's your staff? I love that talented crew of yours. How's Charles? He's a pro, you know.
Charles has not been here for over a year, Mike.
Oh, that's a shame. How's Larry Kenny? Love his impressions. Is there any voice he can't do, I-Man?
Larry hasn't been here for about 3 years.
Oh, such a shame. I can't get to work in the morning without Roz Frank.
Roz hasn't been here, Mike, in about 15 years.
Oh, shame. Hey, I-Man, how's your health? Cancer, you can't breathe, impotent, drunk. You're a mess, I-Man. You're a mess. Do you still drink, I-Man?
No, I don't, Mike.
Oh, that's a shame. You were always such fun when you were drunk. Hey, I-Man.
Yes, Mike.
Is your wife still in charge of your health treatments?
Yes, she is.
Oh, that's a good idea. The woman who inherits millions making life and death decisions. I'm sure she loves you for who you are.
Catch Imus in the morning, right here. What's your IRS problem? Do you owe back taxes? Is there a lien placed on your property? Have your bank accounts been frozen or seized? Have your wages been garnished? Are you being audited by the IRS? Are they sending you letters that demand actions and have urgent due dates? Well, solving your tax problems is as easy as calling Taxes 321. The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. You need the best representation to give you peace of mind. You need experienced professionals that can cut through the red tape and stop the collection process. If you have a serious problem with the IRS, call the Taxes 321 network today. We'll get them off your back.
800-511-3022. 800-511-3022. 800-511-3022. 800-511-3022.
Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back, business owners. You are part of the Focal Point Radio Show on Tan Talk 1340. Thank you for being part of my audience. I am Gil Pinney, your Focal Point business coach. We do this show to build our community's economic engine, small business. Please send your questions or comments to Twitter at @PinneyG, PINNEYG on Twitter. And or call in at 727-441-3000.
Every time you say your Twitter handle, I picture you doing it with like a saxophone in your hand.
I should.
It's like Penny G.
I could remember the Penny G. I know. Well, the hard part about when you get a Twitter handle is it can't be already taken.
I know. I found that out the hard way when I started my website, and I went to take, and I was like, I actually sent the guy a message and politely asked him if he would change his. Because really? My website was that, and I never heard back from him. So I'm like, whatever.
I'm normally, it's Gil Pinney. It's hard to believe, but somebody already had it. Somebody already had Gilbert Pinney. Every iteration of my first name, then when I flipped it around, it worked. So that was how I got Penny G.
Hey, it works. I'm telling you, just get it. Your profile picture needs to be like you with a saxophone in your hand.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll send all the listeners away with that scare. I'll tell you.
So what you're saying is you're not very good at the saxophone.
Not the saxophone. No. Music is not. I love to listen. Think? I'm really a good listener at music, but I will tell you, I am not good at any aspect of music other than dancing. Awful, just awful. I carry my beat around in a bucket.
Hey, that's fine.
That's the best way for me. Aside from the Twitter handle, we got gilpinney@yahoo.com. That's the email account. So if you need anything on this show, from this show, please go to any one of those outlets, and we'll be honored to give you that information. We were talking about the end of the first half and how to make sure that the second half is either significantly better or we stay on target and hopefully exceed our goals by year end. The first step is to review our business, looking at where our leads are generated from and how we convert those. The second step is to communicate with our employees and review our staff, because at some point in time you got to make sure you're both talking with the staff, but also making certain they understand where they stand within your company. And when you're completed with that particular portion of the operation, the final step on your staffing is to do your staffing plan for the second half. And this is really important, both emotionally for yourself, but also a positive step to make sure your company functions as good as you would like it to. And two of the questions you need to ask are there going to be people that need additional challenge in your organization? So if you've hired someone, brought them on board, and they're performing much better than you thought they could, and they have aspirations to do more within your company, or they have a skill level that could really be a benefit to your company, how do you tap into that talent reserve that you may have within your own company already? How can you reduce your cost, improve your customer service, improve your product line, help your customers out by utilizing the talents that you find out during the quarterly review process? And once you do that and build your plan, if you do lose staff, which none of us would like to do, but if you do lose staff or you have to add additional staff, and we've talked about that previously, if you get to a point where you need to add additional staff and it makes ROI sense, you know what type of person you're looking for and who to either give additional responsibility to, both to train the new individual or to reassign to do more for your company and let the new individual help take up parts of their duties and then move them forward. So the quarterly review is very critical to keep employees informed and to keep you informed about the quality of staff you have, because if one of somebody's quarterly goals is to get a college degree in a subject matter that may be good for your current business, then that works out well for both of you. And to keep them on the radar is absolutely critical. Okay, so we'll move on now to our third step. And the third step is a lot more fun, and it's a lot easier, and I say that sarcastically, is you have to reassess yourself. This step is really your own quarterly review. It's your opportunity to look at your performance and think about your goals, both for your business and for yourself. So you've already done the business portion in step one. Now's the time you think about the most important person in your life, and that's you. So the key areas to think about are your family life. In the last 6 months, were you able to meet all your commitments that you made to your family? And when you were meeting those commitments, were you in the moment, or were you somewhat distracted and thinking about your business or business issues? This is a tough one. I can say that I had many occasions where I would go to one of my son's events and I would be there, I'd be watching, but my mind was probably 1,000 miles away on a business issue that I was concerned about. And so when I was physically there, but I was mentally away. And so you need to discuss that with your family to see if you're having the same problem and how to resolve that. The third portion on the family life issue is, do your family and friends see you as a happy person? That may sound funny, and a lot of people don't smile a lot, but are you perceived as being happy in your life? The reason this is so important, and we'll discuss this more next week, but the data shows happy people are more successful than people that are not happy. And that is critical. So if you become or direct yourself, whatever, and enjoy the way you are and the people you're around and become happy, it does a chemical thing like running and all the other stuff that makes you, feel positive. It releases those endorphins and other chemicals in your brain and makes you think more clearly and more innovatively than if you're not releasing those. So bottom line is, happy people are more successful, and that's why it's key to ask your family and friends if they perceive you as a happy person. The next portion of your personal quarterly review is, what's the status of your learning goals? Did you attend a key industry show and pick up some new information about your industry during that show? Have you kept up and read the industry magazine, read them, skimmed through, picked up some new ideas? Do you receive these magazines regularly? It's hard to think of an industry that does not have an industry-specific magazine, either online or a print version that can come free to your location. The next thing to think about is, did you complete any online courses? Today schools are so broad that you can take virtually any course you can think of online. They're relatively inexpensive, and it doesn't necessarily have to be to a degree, but it does give you that additional knowledge that may be a key to unlocking an opportunity for you down the road. Another area is, how many books have you completed in the last 6 months? Have you kept up on your business books? Have you read any motivational books? Have you just read books to enjoy yourself and expand what you know about either murder mysteries or whatever type of genre that is your favorite? Have you expanded yourself to learn more about that? Have you, on your personal learning goals, have you taught any classes, either in church, high school, some clubs? Have you addressed those people? And again, when you teach, you have to know a subject much better, so that helps your overall learning skill. The next area is public speaking. Have you addressed any public... That's a perfect time to have a blown line. Have you addressed any public speaking issues that you may have, where either there's a fear or organizational skills or vocal variety, anything of that nature? There's opportunities to address that, and have you taken those? And the final area is networking. Are you improving your networking skills on a monthly basis or on a 6-monthly basis? Are you getting out there to meet additional people? This helps your current business, but it also helps you both professionally and personally to get out there and network and do it effectively. Always have a plan when you do that. The final area when you're reassessing yourself are your business skills. First, of course, is leadership. Does your staff recognize you as their leader? Is it by default, or is it because you're really a good leader? Are you recognized in your industry as a go-to person? If someone in some other state has a problem, are you well known enough in order to have them contact you for some assistance? And of course, do you have a mentor or a business coach to talk to for advice or leadership questions? These are important, and I'll push the business coach side because addressing your personal issues are very important, and not issues, but your areas of opportunity are important to you and your family, and the happier you are, the better success you're going to have. And we'll go to our last break for the day, and we'll finish this conversation off when we return. Thank you.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black.
Are you looking for a job? Join me, Gene Hodge, on the Employment Opportunity Hour, Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m., where I will tell you and share with you, as well as answer all of your questions and help you find enjoyable employment instead of a job. This is the only talk show that talks about everyone who makes up our workforce. Join me on the Employment Opportunity Hour every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the Employment Opportunity Hour.
Hi, it's Sawyer from the Dolphin Tale movies. Now is the perfect time to visit the world-famous Clearwater Marine Aquarium. Millions have seen us around the world, and now you can experience what we do in person. Come and reconnect with Winter and her fun-loving movie co-stars, Hope, Mavis, and yes, that crazy bird Rufus. Immerse yourself into the world of marine life rescue with the behind-the-scenes tour. Explore the film sets, and don't miss our free boating adventure. Save time in line when you buy tickets at seawinter.com. Kids only $16.95.
Money, money, money. How much time do you spend worrying about money? What if you could get the things you need without money? You can. It's called barter, and it's the oldest and most enduring form of exchange on the planet. Dave Wagenvord's book, No Cash, No Problem, How to Get What You Want in Business and in Life Without Using Cash, is the new Bible of barter. In this book, you'll discover a new mindset that can change your life forever. Learn a secret that is said to be known by only 500 people around the world. Gain a new skill set that can make you rich. See how multi-million-dollar deals are done behind the scenes, all without using any cash. Complete your first cashless transaction before you even finish the book. Marketing guru Jay Abraham christened Dave Wagenvord the king of barter. Order Dave's book, No Cash, No Problem, by phone. Credit cards accepted. Call 727-441-3311. 727-441-3311. 727-441-3311.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Welcome back, business leaders. You are part of the Focal Point Radio Show on Tan Talk 1340. Thank you for being part of my audience. I'm Gil Pinney, your Focal Point business coach. We do this show to build our community's economic engine, you, small business. Please send your questions or comments on Twitter to @PinneyG, and we will respond quickly, or call in at 727-441-3000, or send me an email at gilpinney@yahoo.com. You can also go to my website, gilpinney.com. Well, we've got to hustle a little bit here. I'm getting a little bit behind on all the material I wanted to cover today. But we've gone through step 1, which is evaluating your business. Step 2, evaluating your employees or your staff. And step 3, reassessing yourself and where you are with respect to what you want to be and what your goals are for as an individual. But the key thing I'd like you to take from your personal reassessment is whatever area you decide you need to change for your long-term or short-term growth, all habits and skills are learned. So you can make the change if you wish to. And that's the key. Do you want to make the change? If so, we can work together and figure out how to make that change. Now, quickly, we'll talk about how do you establish your action plan for the second half of 2015. Now, you've reassessed your business, your staff, yourself. What are you going to do with this information? And the larger question that I have for many business leaders is, do I know what to do? Do you know what to do when you see where the issues are? And to be honest, do I know what to do is the biggest reason for procrastination. Because it's human nature to push out any action that when it's unclear what to do. What direction do I go? And then a lot of people just stand and wait for something, lightning to strike, to give them a sign from the gods that maybe I should move in this direction. Well, Dr. Deming, the famous quality guru, I used to watch him all the time, used to say about managers and management that they did not make decisions. And why didn't they make decisions? Because it's safer to do nothing. And in the same case with business owners that don't know what to do, it's safer to do nothing, and so they don't. Well, you have to look to see what resources are available to you to develop your plan and how to answer some of the questions that you may have. You can look back at similar times in your business and say, what decisions were made then and what was the outcome? Evaluate the answer to that question and say, okay, how could we make the decisions we made then better today for what the situation is today versus what it was when we originally made those decisions? The second point is just straight out ask your staff for input. You know, you're evaluating them anyway, and let them know you're evaluating what they have to say. It's important, but you also have to tell them there's also the possibility that maybe because of your process and the way you see the business, you may not use their input, but at least make sure that they know that their input is valuable, whether or not you employ it or not. The next point a lot of business owners just plain forget about or don't use to their advantage, and that's talking with suppliers. Your suppliers deliver to you, your competitor, and hundreds of other sources that can give you information about what's working in other companies and what's not working in other companies, and what other companies may be thinking about doing. It's such a rich resource. It's really unbelievable to talk to the supply base and find out what they see in the market and how they see the market both moving and what trends they see with respect to the products that you sell to your customers. And of course, last but not least on this list is, if you don't know exactly what to do, is work with your Focal Point business coach. I'm available whenever you need me. My personal cell phone number is 727-537-9680. And again, we've given the Twitter handle out several times, and we've given out the email several times. If you're unclear what to do, don't sit back and do nothing and wait for something to happen. Adjust yourself and think about what you need to do. Give us a call. First hour consultation is always free. We always give some really valuable information to people. Many people take that information and that's all they really need. So think about that and how to move your business forward. If you need any help, please give me a call. Again, it's 727-537-9680. So now we've thought about it. You have to adjust your plan to the new reality, and the new reality may be things are better than what you'd originally planned, or they may be worse. But you've got to communicate that new plan to your staff and explain why you've changed the goals in whichever direction you've changed them. If they've gone higher, explain why. If they've gone down, you have to explain that to them as well, but in such a fashion that they don't see themselves and you as a failure. You know, you're just making a change. Again, relate back to baseball. It's just like getting and buying and trading for new players to hopefully put yourselves in a position to where you're having a playoff picture, which is their goal every year. Now, the next part of your action plan is you have to implement it with a true sense of urgency. You now have your adjusted plan. You have your action steps that need to be taken. You have to prioritize those action steps by the importance to achieving your goals, and then you have to communicate those priorities to everyone in your company. And when do those action steps start? They start today. They can't start tomorrow. They have to start today, because you don't want all this work that you're putting in to reassess and move forward in a new, not necessarily new direction, but to make sure that you hit your targets and goals for 2015. You don't want that to fall prey to procrastination on the execution side. So make sure when you're putting your plan in place, you have the sense of urgency that everything starts immediately. You make every effort to get that reassessment, the plan adjustment, and action steps, and get those done. And for me and my business, it's all going to be done by the week of next week, to be honest. It's the week of 7/13. Okay, that's when we're going to have some of these things done. And we start then. We know there's things that can't be done until mid-August. We know there's things that can't be done until early September. But you know what? There are things that we can do today that we're not doing today that we can implement and put in place and get going right away and make sure that the end of 2015 is either where we want it or better than what we'd planned. And as I said earlier at the start of the show, I am a business coach. I do this stuff both for helping other companies, but I do it in my own practice. Part of my reassessment was how to improve the performance that I do on the radio show, but to get more participation. And part of that was looking at how people communicate back to me and making it as convenient as possible. Well, that's where the Twitter comes in. A lot of people use Twitter. I have not been a dominant user, but hopefully you will make me one shortly. So Twitter is going to be a new portion of this show, so that we pull questions from Twitter. We'll pull comments from Twitter. Any ideas that you have can come from Twitter. Any improvements you recommend for the show can come from Twitter. So I hope that works for all of us. And like I said, it's a key point to reassess both your business and yourself. And we don't have time to go through all the things that I had to do to reassess myself to make sure that I've been effective in my business. But my marketing program is now modified a little bit. I'm doing a lot more speaking engagements because the speaking engagements have been much more fruitful for me than any direct mail campaign that I have. Even though I did follow up with a direct mail, it just was not as effective as the speaking engagements and meeting people one-on-one. Working the networking side of the marketing program for me has also been much more beneficial. I've joined 3 different groups to expand my horizons and expand my contact base. That has worked out well. It does take a lot of time, but the important thing is building that funnel of prospects and projects that customers feel comfortable with, and they get to know my story. And the more people that know my story, the more people that become comfortable with our business and see what the benefits of coaching is all about. One of the things that we talked on, and I kind of muddled a little bit on purpose, was the public speaking side. And for those of you that are either weak on public speaking or have a large fear of public speaking, I can tell you I can join that crowd because I was that way and may still be sometimes for large crowds well over a year ago. But what I did was I took that bull, I understood my personal weakness, and I went and joined Toastmasters. Great organization, great set of skills. The most positive thing about Toastmasters is the evaluation process. They tell you what you did good, where you can improve, and then give you a positive feeling when you're completed on either your initial speech or your 10th speech or your 20th speech, or as many as you want to move down the line. You get to improve your body language, which you can't see it on the radio, and also improve your vocal variety. That helps get your message across, and it's important. The next portion that I'd like to just briefly talk about is in Oldsmar, where my club is. We're going to have an elevator speech contest. That will be September 16th and September 30th. So if you'd like to participate in that, it promotes your company, it promotes your ability, and you'll be in great shape by participating, and we'd love to have you. So again, use any of the contact information, and we're good. Thank you very much. Talk to you next week.
WTAN, Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen.
Debating the Confederate flag, defeating ISIS, and Wall Street slides. I'm Ann Cates. A final vote is expected tomorrow on legislation to remove the Confederate flag from the grounds of the South Carolina state capitol. Republican State Senator Larry Martin says the flag is a relic of the past.
Obviously, we have our roots in the South. There are events in the South. It's part of our history, like it is for the country. But it needs to be just that, part of our history.